Hello and welcome to Summon Reviews. I'm Joseph, and today we're going to do a review of The Legend of Korra, developed by Platinum Games. Now, small disclaimer for those of you who care, I just want to inform you all that this is not going to be a spoiler-free review, for a few reasons, chiefly among them in that The Legend of Korra, the game, doesn't exactly have a lot of story going on. And with all that said, let's get on with the review. The story of The Legend of Korra, the game, is as follows. 2 weeks after the events of Season 2 of the show, Korra finds herself facing off against an opposing pro-bending team by herself, Mako and Bolin having been thrown from the arena within a few moments of the start of the match. After carrying her team to victory, Korra finds herself on the streets of Republic City, presumably on her way home. Along the way, she comes across 2 Triad members supposedly mugging an old man in an alleyway. Turns out, though, that it was all just a trap, with the Triad members taking off and the old man vanishing in a swirl of shadows. Korra is then assailed with chi blocking needles, effectively knocking her unconscious. Afterwards, she wakes to find herself surrounded by chi blockers and the old man from before telling them they need to extract something from her. Coming to her senses and fighting her way to freedom, Korra embarks on a journey to stop whatever evil plan is laid out for her and regain her bending, with the adorable Jinora, in spirit form, fulfilling the role of exposition fairy along the way. The Legend of Korra's gameplay is smooth and enjoyable, reminiscent of Bayonetta's combo-crushing ways, only with the various styles of bending in place of different weapons. And that's not to say that The Legend of Korra plays like a reskinned Bayonetta. They obviously put some time into the bending styles, as each one of them is unique in terms of gameplay. Waterbending is built around quick, long-range attacks, either in the form of bolts of water being slung or launching icicles to freeze your opponents, peppering in a mid-range AoE that affects a larger area depending on your chi charge, along with the notorious Water Whip skill, which can be purchased from the shop to pull specific enemies in close for a beating. Earthbending is short and to the point, unlocked in Chapter 4 by standing your ground and basically backhanding anything a mecha tank throws at you. It's the slowest of the bending styles, but it hits the hardest and provides the easiest way to stun opponents. Its combos are also the shortest of the 4 styles, making it a bit harder to rack up combo points. Firebending is, well, I'll be honest with you, it kinda gets the short end of the stick until you get a few levels into it and have purchased a couple talismans to make it worthwhile. It has the longest combo strings and hits quickly, but not very hard. I found myself wondering why I bothered to use this style if there was ever more than one enemy to face. Long combos would often get interrupted before I had the chance to finish them. Though, through Iroh's store in the Spirit Realm, you do get access to a skill that lets you dash towards opponents, making Firebending good for gap closing, but not much else if you have multiples of opponents to face. Airbending is broken. There is no other way to put this. It has a combo string of decent length, some of the latter hits in the string hitting multiple enemies at multiple times. It effectively does Firebending's job, but better. And that's before you build up a chi charge and start to mow down enemies with tornado spawning spin kicks. I can see why, outside of thematic reasons, Airbending was made to be the last of the styles you acquire. It allows you to destroy waves of mobs with a simple combo that hits quickly and just hard enough to keep enemies just beyond reach of view. These 4 styles, coupled with powerful counters and quick dodges, make Korra a force to be reckoned with. And that's not even touching on the talismans you can purchase and equip that cut some stats and give you huge boosts to others. There's even a talisman that provides a nifty regeneration effect, and another that makes you immune to stuns and knockbacks while your chi charge is full, which is useful if you really like firebending and want to spend some time dashing through a crowd in a blaze of flame and glory. By the time you reach the final chapter, Korra has regained her bending along with her ability to spirit bend and activate her avatar state, just in time to face down our antagonist, Hundun, a man who has been living in the spirit realm with his conjoined brother for the past 1,000 years after suffering defeat at the hands of a previous avatar incarnation, presumably one who isn't important enough to mention the name of. Hundun doesn't prove to be too challenging or all that memorable. He rains lightning down from the sky, charges you, knocks you around, creates shadow clones around the arena, summons a horde of spirits to kill you, and then when he gets fed up with the beatdown you've provided, he knocks you into the air, to which Korra responds by turning on the avatar state. This last portion of the fight is nothing more than a button mash to win scenario followed by a few QTEs, after which Korra purifies Hundun with her spirit bending, sending him into the afterlife proper where he belongs. And then we get to do something I had been waiting to see since the first season of the show. You get to beat the tar out of the wolf bats. And it felt good. All of this isn't even touching on the non-stop running levels with the adorable Naga and the entirety of the pro-bending matches themselves. In short, Naga's levels are fun and quick, with the exception of the one boss battle you have to do while riding her. The pro-bending matches play like they took them right out of the show. In short, I think they're perfect. All in all, what this review comes down to is The Legend of Korra worth its $14.99 price point? In my opinion, kind of. It has a few tiny kinks in that airbending needs to be brought down a teeny tiny bit, and Firebending needs a good buff. But other than that, it's proof that a game doesn't need to be one of those trudge endlessly through the wilderness epics with hours of story and dialogue to be a good game. It's proof that sometimes a game just needs to be fun to play. Which is why I think that the $14.99 price point wasn't too much to ask for. It's not long or story intensive, but it is fun, and I get to play as a character I quite honestly loved in her original depiction in the TV series. It plays smoothly enough that you can tell that Platinum Games put it through the QA ringer before putting it out, which is something that can't be said about some other games released that same year. In summary, The Legend of Korra is light on story, but big on gameplay. Now with all that said, what are your thoughts on the Legend of Korra game? Was it worth $15 to you, or would you have knocked off a few bucks due to the lack of story? Leave a comment down below to let me know. Thank you for watching.